Good evening, ladies and gents, and welcome to another Q8 pilot stream. It is 2100 hours local time, 1800 Zulu. It has been a while since I've done a stream, and I try to compensate that by doing some videos for you guys. But before we delve any further, welcome aboard, everyone. Very glad to have you all with me this evening. Rand Cooley, Boeing Corp, Mike, Chris Strobel, Stan, Drashal. How are you guys all doing? I hope you are doing well. Hello, Chris. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you guys here. And I'm excited today to show you this airport, the Banja Luka in Bosnia, and our flight today service to Austria, specifically to Vienna. Pan Am, welcome aboard. Glad to have you here. And we're going to begin today, folks, by taking a look at this rather detailed airport by ORBX. There's quite a bit that I want to cover today, including the Honeycomb aeronautical fiasco. That's what I'd like to call it. And but first, let's begin by taking a look at this rather well-done airport by ORBX. The first thing you'll notice in this airport is the detail of all the signage around the airport, the placement of the objects. You can see the cars, the buses, all the advertisement here. As you can see, the billboards, very well done and quite detailed. You can also see the lights. Look at how the lights are made here. Quite nice, really very nice airport. You can see how the billboard is lit here. And the minute you start walking into the airport, then you're going to start seeing some serious details there. So let's go ahead and walk over here and take a look. This looks like the security there, and this is where people will go in for this is the initial entrance, it looks like, and this is where people go and check in for the security. Here are the check-in desks and some nice little cafe here. Very well done here. Again, we can see on the back here, very nicely done. And you've got some pizza and some sandwiches there to be served. We can go to the information excuse me, we can go to the information office as well, and past the security point here we can see the immigration officer there, and you can see the passengers making their way into the waiting area, the boarding area here, where again everything is really done with a lot of details in a very nice airport without really the hit on performance. Very, very nicely done. Now, if you are a follower of the channel, you'll know that I'm probably not a really big fan of interiors, but this one is actually quite nicely done. So yeah, I do like looking at the details, but you know, that's about only the first time I load the airport, and that's pretty much it. The outside of the airport, as you can see again, is very nicely done. You can see there the baggage card, and you can see the nicely done buildings, very nice custom 3D buildings that are done with a lot. Look at the roof of that building and all the details there. Very, very nicely done indeed. You can also see all the fire trucks and all the service vehicles here inside the garage. Very, very nice, really, area here done by ORBX. Again, you can see here the rest of the airport. Very detailed ground marking as well. Very, very nice. Yeah. I think they've done a really good job. ORBX is very well known for creating very high fidelity scenery for both X-Plane, P3D, and Microsoft Flight Sim. But I think they've done a really, really good job on this particular airport. Let me just fast forward there to the camera again. We can take a look here at the control tower, which I think is, again, very nicely done. There isn't anyone in the tower, it looks like. The tower is quite empty. Abandoned tower, perhaps? Yeah. Hello, Andy. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you here. And here's, again, a look at the airport. If you like flying in this part of the world, this is one airport that will definitely make for an enjoyable flight. Very well done, both inside and out. Very easy on performance in an area that is not very involved in terms of scenery. So yeah, definitely in terms of FPS, very, very optimized. You can see that the clouds are looking absolutely gorgeous today, and I've just actually made a new preset using NVIDIA filters. I'll give you a sneak peek at that once we are airborne. But first, we are flying the baby 737 today, the 737-600, this Austrian Airline flight. And before we delve any further into the flight setup, let's take a look at our Navigraph charts here for a briefing on our flight. As a quick reminder for everyone, today we are flying using Volanta for flight tracking. Excuse me. And you can click on the link provided the pinned message in chat if you want to take a look at you want to track the flight live on Volanta. You can do that. Hello, Flight for Fun. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you here. Jafar, welcome aboard. Dustin93, welcome aboard. Glad to have you here with us this evening. All right. So if we look here at the flight plan, we are going to be departing Banja Luka here in Bosnia through runway 16. The winds are favoring runway 16 through the Coma 1 Alpha through the Comar transition. We are going to be cruising at 30,000 feet today with an approximate flight time of 47 minutes. We're going to be arriving at Austria today, or Vienna, Austria, through runway 16. Again, we can see winds favoring runway 16 through the Obut to Whiskey arrival through the Abuti transition. Nothing really to say other than the weather is going to be pleasant. VFR conditions in both departure and arrival airports, so we shouldn't really have any problems today with this flight. And everything should be uneventful, and we should have some time to talk about the Honeycomb aeronautical fiasco. All right, so you've been briefed, and we are in a completely cold and dark state. So even on the overhead panel, all the switches are turned off. There's no GPU. There's nothing there. So we're going to come here to the electronic flight bag, and let me set up my mic here. All right. So we're going to request the data from SimBrief. Hello, Alex. Welcome aboard. And Krister. Hello, my friend. Welcome aboard from Sweden. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you here with us. All right. So we have our flight plan here, and now we can start setting up. All right. Perfect. We're going to go to the overhead panel, and first I'm going to turn these switches on, and now we can do the normal cockpit preparation. First thing first, battery is on, standby power is on, and the ground power we need to connect. So we're going to come here, and we're going to go to FS Actions, Ground Services, and we're going to request ground power, connecting the ground power, and in just a second we'll have the GPU card connected to the aircraft. So we're just waiting here for the GPU. All right, we have the GPU. It is connecting. All right, let's take a look here. All right, it is available. All right, so now we have ground power connected to the aircraft. Excellent. Next, we are going to come down here, and we're going to perform the engine fire test and APU fire test. Excellent. And the cargo fire test. And while we're at it, we're just going to make sure that the landing gear manual extension is set properly. Excellent. All right, and let's check the lights. All the lights check okay. Perfect. All right. And everything here is good. Let's return this, return that. Okay. And next we're going to go from top to bottom, left to right. So yaw damper can stay as it is. The left after fuel pump is on. DC volts are good. We can leave this here. This is on ground power. And then we're going to check here, make sure if standby power is on. Everything here looks good. Circuit breakers, lights. We don't need those for the time being. We can add a little bit of light here just to kind of make things a little more snazzy. All right, and the circuit breakers as well, and emergency lights are armed. We can leave the fasten seatbelt sign off until we are fully loaded. And we're going to come here and set the window heat to on. And we're going to turn on these switches here for the electric and hydraulic pumps. Okay, and cockpit voice recorder is on auto. We're going to turn on the recirc fan on auto. And we'll leave the left pack on auto as well. Carl Childers, hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. All right, we are good here, and we're going to set this to 30,000 feet. 30,000 feet is set. Landing altitude is 2,000. It's 200, beg your pardon. So let's come here to 100. Okay. We're going to come here and check the cockpit voice recorder. Tests, all okay. The Mach airspeed warning test 1 and 2. Stall warning test. Again, this one normally takes time, so that's okay. We're going to set the ADDONS to nav mode. All right, everything here checks okay, and the ADDONS are on nav. We can turn on, let's turn on the damper. We'll leave it on. There we go. All right, perfect. So everything here is set up on the overhead panel, and we can now go to the FMC. So let's come down here and set things up. All right, so FMC position in it, we are at Lima, Quebec, Bravo, Kilo. All right, and next page, grab the GPS position. Previous page. We'll set that here. What did I do? Something went off there. Position in it. Looks like okay. Yeah, we have alignment, so that's fine. Okay, so we're going to go to the route and select the origin airport. And we're going to request the flight plan. Now, from SimBrief, we have the flight plan here. So we're going to select select the flight plan, and let me go back here, set the payload, and set the fuel, and perfect, set the flight plan. So let's clear that, and request the flight plan. This needs to be in hectopascal, so let me change that real quick. There we go. All right, FMC, and we're going to load everything. Excellent. So yeah, I've been away for streaming, at least for the past week, and this was due to really work and just not really having time to prepare for those streams. I hope that you've enjoyed the videos that I've posted throughout the week. All right, so we are departing runway 16, and if we come back here to Navigraph charts, the absolute must-have for any flight simmer, and the Coma 1. So that is our departure. We're going to execute that. Let's go back to the index and select the arrival. The arrival is going to be through the, let's see, up to 2 Whiskey, through the ILS runway 16. And let's see. If we look at the chart here, so let's make this a bit bigger. And if we go to the approach and select runway 16, we'll see that the transition, let's see here. So this is coming through. All right, let's go for the approach real quick. We're going to go to the star, and we're going to go to here. Actually, this is easier to just do it here. And we can see that we're coming through the, yeah, so there's no need for the transition there. All right, so the transition into the approach is Ballad. So, okay, perfect. So now we can zoom this out. We'll put this away. and we'll select execute. And next we're going to go to the legs page, and we're going to just select this one here. So this is the transition into the approach. Okay, so now we're good here. Next we're going to go to the init or the performance initialization. And for this we're going to take a look at the SimBrief flight plan. And we can just click here for the 0 fuel weight. Excellent. And for the reserve fuel, we can add the alternate with the final reserves, which is about 2. So we'll just put 2 here. Cost index of 35. Brilliant. And the final cruise altitude today is 30,000 feet. I love how it draws this here. Look at that. All right, it's going to be quite a turn there. The cruise winds are 239, so 200 degrees, 39 knots. And that is now set. Excellent. Makes the circle a bit bigger. Transition altitude is 10,000 feet. And everything is set here. Actually, you can hit on perf init request, and it will fill in everything for you. But that's okay. We're going to derate the takeoff, and we're going to select flaps 5 for the departure. We're going to set the CG trim 6.44 with a V1 119, 120. Just notice how small these numbers are on the 600. Hello, my friend. I'm not sure I can say your name properly. Fosilo. Is it Gosby Fosilo? I'm sorry if I mispronounced that completely and made a mess of it. I do apologize, but I want to welcome you aboard this flight, a service to Vienna. All right, let's set our trim real quick here. One of the things I like about PMDG is the sounds. They are just phenomenal. All right, that's 6 and then 6.33. All right, perfect. So the trim is set. Everything here is set. We'll put this back on the legs page. All right, and now we can go up here and let's go ahead and start the APU. All right, APU is now starting. And in the meantime, we can come to the glare shield first. Let's check the oxygen. Right, oxygen checks okay. And on the first officer side as well. Perfect. And now the EGT is rising. In the meantime, let's set the speeds. Let's go to FMC. And we're going to go to the takeoff speed, 128. Right, 128 is set. Flight directors are on. The final cruise altitude today is 30,000 feet. Right, 30,000 is set. Perfect. Auto brake to reject a takeoff. Oh, Alex, sorry to hear that, my friend. All right. We're going to set the heading to runway heading, which is 160. All right, 160 is set. Perfect. And looks like we can now put the gens on the APU. All right, APU bleed is coming on. And we can put the isolation valve to the open position. All right, perfect. And we can now turn on the fasten seatbelt sign. Let's test and hold the cockpit voice recorder there very quickly. Just wait for the light. All right, checks okay. And finally, we're going to do the GPWS test.
Glide slope.
Excellent.
Pull up.
And we are also going
Wind
to
shear.
test the
Wind
TCAS.
shear. Wind shear. Terrain. Pull up.
Airspeed low. Airspeed low.
All right.
Test. Pass.
Tomorrow at exactly the same time, 1800 Zulu, we are going to be taking a look at the recently released COWS DA42 for Microsoft Flight Sim. And I'll reserve all my comments about the aircraft for the stream tomorrow evening. So be sure to tune in tomorrow, friends. And it should be an exciting and fun stream to watch. All right. Everything here is good, and we are good here. We're good here. We're going to turn on the fuel pumps, and we can turn on the position light to ready. Collision light is on, and we are ready for engine start. First, let's remove the chocks, and let's come back here to menu. All right, index. Let's see here. Let's go to the menu, FS actions. We're going to set the brakes. So we're going to hold. We're going to hold the toe brakes and set the brake. And next we can go to the ground services, and we can release the ground power unit and remove the chocks. Excellent. All right, and we're going to set the altimeter. Altimeter is now set, and we are good to go. Let's bring some lights to the cockpit. We're just going to give it a little bit of background light here and the main panel lights as well. We're going to come back here and bring some panel lights to the lower pedestal and some floodlight there. Make things a little bit more, you know, bombastic. All right. And now we are pretty much ready to go. Excellent. Let's take a quick look here at the outside. Make sure everything is clear. Just look how beautiful this Austrian Airline livery is, and the clouds are just phenomenal today. All right, we're ready to go, and we can actually start the engines. We don't need to push back. I think we'll just go ahead and go straight that way. So I'm going to go ahead and start the engines. We're going to turn off the left pack, and we're going to go to ground. And now we'll see the engine starting to spool. Right, return, FMC, and climb. Okay, perfect. My cat is loving the fact that I'm in bed all the time. I bet she does. All right, here we go. In my opinion, the PMDG 737, specifically the 900 variant, is by far the most complex and advanced add-on for Microsoft Flight Sim to date. All right. Gotta love the cockpit. By the way, the preset that I'm using is different from the one I've shown on my recent video. I just feel that this one is for me, I think it's more realistic. So yeah, I keep playing with it. So let me just set this here to 5. All right, there we go. All right, we have a good start on the first engine, engine number 2. Let's start engine number 1. Look at those views. All right. All right, there we go. Engine number 1 is coming up. And in the meantime, we can set the flaps to flaps 5. Yeah, I've got to love those sounds. Very, very nice sounds. All right, back in the cockpit here, we have a good start on engine number 1. It looks like a cartoon plane, small with a huge rudder. I like the 600, by the way. I do like it a lot. Okay. Flaps 5, everything is set here. I'm gonna go ahead and put the gens now. Right, gens are on, and we can now turn off the APU bleed and turn on the engine bleeds, left pack and right pack to auto, isolation valve to auto, and we're going to turn on the probe heat as well here. Everything is looking good. And no, all right, so we can turn off the APU and turn on our taxi lights, and off we go. All right, let's go ahead and put the transponder on TARA. There we go, and that way we don't forget it. And we can release the parking brake and head over to the runway. All right, parking brake released, and off we go. Beautiful airport in a beautiful part of the world, Banja Luka. By the way, the link to all the sceneries used during the stream is available through chat command !scenery. I tell you, this preset has made all the difference in the world in Microsoft Flight Sim. All right, here we go. Let me set it here. I'll show you guys the preset once we are airborne, and we'll get a little bit more time to chat about a few things. All right, we're going to enter the runway, so we might as well turn on the landing lights and runway turn-off lights. We'll turn off the taxi lights, and I'm going to turn on the strobe lights as well. All right, there we go. We're going to arm the auto throttle. Yeah, runway 16, if you look here, we can actually go to runway 16, I think, from this taxiway. So we're going to cross there. It sounds like a small taxiway, so... Alright, well, let's go that way. It's got a helipads as well, which is very nice. Really well done airport by... looks like there's a military airport here. That's what it looks like. Hopefully there is a taxiway to the runway there. You know what? There might not be a taxiway to the runway there. Anyway, because it gives us a good view of the airport. Look here. Again, very, very nice. You can see those military helicopters there and some military vehicles as well. Looks very nice. Yeah. Actually, we can take a look here at the charts. Let's see here. Lights. Let's remove that. And let's remove that as well. Ah, Simlink isn't running. Okay. That's fine. Alright, we're good. World Avia, welcome aboard. Hello, Matthew. Welcome aboard, my friend. Hello, Dougal. Welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you here. I hope you are well. Matthew, I think this is the first time I see you on stream, so welcome aboard. Glad to have you here. World Avia, the chat is English only, please. I'm sorry, I don't speak any other languages other than Arabic and English. But on stream, it's only English, please. right, looking good. We are using today Thrustmaster throttle quadrant as well as the Thrustmaster yoke, the Boeing yoke, that is. God, it feels like I've been away from everything for just for ages. Just having, had the chance to stream during the week, I think I just feel, like I've been away or something. Hello, Yasin. Welcome aboard. I'm from Kuwait. Right, slow it down a little bit here. Keep things under wrap. And everything's looking good here. We're going to turn on the terrain. No, we'll put the weather here. Doesn't do anything, but we'll bring the terrain radar on the other side. And we should have a turn at the end there, which I'm starting to suspect that it's not modeled. No, it is modeled. Okay, perfect. I really am enjoying this beautiful preset. Very, very nice indeed. I'll show you guys the preset once we're airborne. And I think if you copy it, I think you'll really enjoy it. It doesn't, make the cockpit dark, and it really does bring the colors in the sim. It really does make a huge, huge difference in how the sim looks overall. So, yeah. All right. Every time, Carl, you are on stream, you amaze me with how much knowledge and how much stuff you know. You're just a very sophisticated person. Ultra settings, yes sir, it is ultra settings. Raul Rodriguez, hello my friend, welcome aboard. All right, we've got our landing lights on, runway turn-off lights, engine start switches to continuous, and we are good to go. Auto brake to rejected takeoff, flaps are 5, and we are good to go. All right, let's make the turn. All right, and let's line up. Look at how beautiful the runway is. All right. Right, 40%. And toga. Airspeed alive. 80 knots, check. V1, rotate.
Positive rate of climb.
And gears going up. Right, past 400 feet, VNAV. Right, we can go to flaps 1. Right, and LNAV. Begin the turn. Look at this departure. Alright, we can retract the flaps. Flaps up. Auto brake off. And the engine selectors to the off position. And we can go ahead and engage the autopilot. Autopilot engaged. And we continue the climb. Look at how beautiful this wing view is, guys. Those clouds are just amazing. Are we flying SOP? I'm flying Kuwait's SOP. That's my own SOP. Yeah. I was seeing slight pauses on the runway during takeoff. None since liftoff. Yeah, there was one pause that I've noticed as well, Stan. And that's probably more than likely FSLTL, the traffic. All right, we're gonna set this to 40. There we go. Continue the climb. Looking good. And as we approach 9,000, we are going to turn off the landing lights. All right, everything here is good. Excellent. And by the way, guys, today the channel has reached 85,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it very much. I really never thought, you know, that we get that far here on YouTube. So I am quite happy today with this milestone. We are 15,000 subs away from 100K, which is crazy, come to think about it. All right, we are now climbing to our cruise altitude of 30,000 feet. We are at 12,000. All's looking good here. Let me show you just a few, you know, window shots here. As you can see here, this just looks absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. Look at this, guys. Wow. Those clouds are phenomenal. Look at that. All right. So the first thing, oh, Stan just gifted 10 Q8 pilot memberships. Stan, thank you so very much for your generosity and support. I really, really appreciate it. Very, very kind of you, sir. And please, folks, if you have received a gifted membership from Stan, please be sure to say thank you. And thank you very much, Stan, for the support. I really appreciate it. All right. So we are now cruising to 30,000 feet. And I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about the Honeycomb aeronautical fiasco. And the reason I call it fiasco is that's exactly what I feel it is. And before I begin telling you what I feel and what I think of this whole, you know, thing, I want to stress out the importance of the fact that I have endless respect for developers of all sorts. Anyone who works in the flight sim industry I have a lot of respect for, including the guys behind Honeycomb Aeronautical. Now, I've watched the I watched the podcast of XP72 and Blue Games, and those are just one of the most wonderful human beings you can meet. They are, and I can understand the emotions behind, you know, Honeycomb, and the fact that we know the person behind it. So we've seen him at FS Expo. We've seen him talk about the product and the development of the products. We are going through some clouds here, so we better turn on our wing eyes and anti-eyes. So what I'm about to say is with bearing in mind that I do have a lot of respect for the developers, but you guys know me, and over the past 8 years of creating content here on YouTube, you know me, I'll say just exactly as it is. And while I agree with a lot of the things that Blue Games and XP72, I think they have taken a bit of an emotional stance, just siding with somebody that we know very well in the industry. But here is my thing. First of all, the announcement, I cannot fathom that this announcement came just on the day that he sent Nikki, when he sent those emails out, right? So there were couple of emails in quick succession, one telling us what has happened and another one that he's finding another partner. Now, while I find his story with his partner to be a little bit sad, when you, first of all, you don't do, you don't really do business with friends. That's for one. But I think maybe maybe he used the word friend as an acquaintance rather than a friend. But anyway, the email came at a time, and I cannot believe that he did not know about what was going on until the day that email came out. So there is no excuse there for keeping everyone in the dark for so long. Now, the other thing is, in quick succession came that second email that said, that they're looking for somebody to partner with them or to help them, somebody to invest. And then a week later, there is this mystery buyer who comes and buys the company. Now, I find it very hard to believe that all of this has happened over the past 1 or 2 weeks. That cannot be, okay? That's one thing. The other thing is, and I don't want to make this sound like it's an attack on a person, but when you are in a business and you have a lot of the people's hard money at stake, you need to be very conservative in how you live your life, right? So we have a saying, you have a saying in here in this part of the world that says something, extend your legs as far as your blanket can cover them, right? So, for example, let me give you a very simple example of what that means. If imagine that you go and you buy a car that you actually cannot afford that car, but you put in all your cash to buy that car, and then you don't have the money for the gas, right? So that is the saying goes, extend your legs as far as your blanket can cover them, and that's what the literal translation of that saying. But yeah, Dougal, don't let you read. Yeah, exactly, Carl. Exactly. So, in all honesty, I do not feel any remorse for Nikki or for Honeycomb Aeronautical. I think they kept everyone in the dark. I think this was not a good business practice. And this whole story of the friend and that, while maybe true, did not move me whatsoever, quite honestly. Because that was just, an excuse, really. It was really finding an excuse. So I feel very, very strongly about this. Nothing personal, really, guys. I mean, I have every respect for every developer, but the way and the manner in which this specific case was handled leaves much to be desired. And as a matter of fact, I feel very bad for the employees of Honeycomb Aeronautical who lost their jobs, but I'm very happy to see that there is somebody else taking the company, somebody who can at least be, straightforward with the customers. I'm sure, and if you recall, Stan, at FS Expo, when you and I were sitting in that room and Honeycomb Aeronautical started giving the showcase on their product, and they said how they actually removed a lot of features from the Bravo throttle, from the Honeycomb Alpha, yoke. Remember the conversation we had, Stan? Remember I told you it looks like they're not going to be in business for much longer. And you know, my hunch has materialized because I felt that there was something very wrong going there, and also knowing that you should not go and, you know, buy ostentatiously extravagant merchandise, you know, when you are running a business. You should live in a very conservative manner. Yeah, it's good to treat yourself every once in a while. I mean, that's what the hard-earned money is good for. But you should always be very careful on how you live your life when you are a business owner, and when you have the, you know, thousands of hard-earned dollars from your customers and potential customers at stake. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my honest and unbiased view on this subject. Absolutely right, Stan. Yeah, absolutely right. Renan D. Oliveira, welcome to Senior Captain, my friend. Thank you very, very much for your support. It looks like we are at 30,000 feet, and it looks like it's pretty cloudy, guys. Look at that. Yeah, we're flying through the clouds. Yeah, wow. And I thought it was going to be an uneventful flight. We're going to leave our anti-ice equipment on, because the last thing we want is ice forming on the wings. And with that, let me show you the preset that I'm using. So I'm going to go to, be careful not to hit F4. So that's F3. All right. So here's what I've done with this preset. As you can see, the everything looks sharp. The cockpit isn't dark. And what I've done is, again, on the tint and intensity and color is 0. Temperature is -12 to give it a more of a colder look rather than a warmer look. And then vibrance to 14. Then I added the details, sharpen to 50, clarity to 9, HDR toning -12, and bloom to 8. And that's it. That's all I've done with this preset. So a couple details and color. You can copy this later on. You can come here and copy this if you like. And if you want to see what things look like without this, this is off. And you can see now things are quite different, and this is on. I just love this preset. I think it's just really, really nice. All right. Now, very quickly, let's take a quick look here at TD, which is in 52 nautical miles. So we need to start setting things up. So we're going to bring up our Navigraph charts. We're going to go to Vienna, and we're going to select our approach. Let's take a look here, and there we go. All right, so the approach reading 108.5. All right, so 108.5. We make that the active, and 108.5, and we'll make that the active. All right, 18. Okay, and the approach course is 159. So we're going to set that here, 159. All right, 159. It's a very short flight, but it's a fun flight. And 159. All right, there we go. And everything here is set. Perfect. Excellent. All right, so everything here is set. Now we can set our flaps. I'm amazed at how small these numbers are in the 737-600. Q8, have you tried using 8192? That is exactly what I'm using right now, Chris. It's 8192. That's the maximum resolution. Yep. All right, so we are going to do flaps 30. It's a pretty long runway, and 132. Okay. Slash 142. Excellent. And then we're going to go to the fix, and we're going to enter RW, runway 16, and that will place the radial is 160 and 10 nautical miles. And we're going to add that here. Excellent. And we're good. All right, here's the top of descent coming up in about 34 nautical miles. So we're going to set the MCP altitude to 5,000 feet, which is the platform altitude at Vienna. 5,000 is now set. We can actually bring the background lights maybe there. We don't need as much lights now. There we go. And now you can see the shadows a little better. Very, very nice with the 8K resolution clouds, shadows, beg your pardon. Look at this, just really, really sharp. And you don't get those flickers of the shadows while you are, flying. There, again, here's another look. There, I think you can see it clearly here. Yeah, you don't get those jagged shadows, which is pretty cool. Hello there, Swordy. Welcome aboard. What airline is Q8 flying today? Today, Q8 is flying Austrian. Yeah. Very, very nice livery. I love Austrian. I love Austria as a country. Very nice country, and there's a lot to see, lots of history. I had a really pleasant time in Austria with the family many years ago. Been to Austria many, many times, both as a child and as an adult, and there's a lot to see, definitely. Also, for some reason, Level Up works in X-Plane 12. Oh, does it? I never tried it. I have the Austrian livery, but on the Level Up 736. Alright, here's top of descent. We're looking good. And should be a rather nice approach into runway 16. If we look here at the plan. There we go, that's our circle there. Okay. Perfect. Looks like we're still flying into the clouds, which is a bummer. We can't really see the beautiful mountainous terrain beneath us. So I think we're going to start seeing this, momentarily after we begin our descent towards Austria. Yeah, we're not too far from top of descent. So tomorrow, folks, we are going to be taking a look at the Diamond DA42 by COWS, Creators of the World, or Creator of the World S, something like that. And yeah, it's gonna be fun watching cows fly, huh? Yeah. So yeah, of course, the aircraft has been provided to me courtesy of my very good friends at ORBX. And I want to thank ORBX very, very much for sponsoring this stream, and for the guys over at Volanta also for the live flight tracking today through the application. Speaking of that, if we look here at the Volanta app, we can see that this is the... So we're going to come back here once we are through with the flight. You can see that this is our takeoff here. And I'm going to show you some cool features there on how to replay your flight. I'm not sure if I've shown you this before, but we'll take a look at that once we have landed at our destination. All right. So far, so good. All right, we're going to begin the descent. There we go. And here's top of descent. We have now begun the descent towards Vienna. Also, for some reason, I like to pretend, because I too broke for the IXCG currently, so just use 737-300. operators only level up. I see. Supposedly the cows was supposed to have an explained version. Any word on that? I have no idea, Chris. No. I have no idea on that. But I've flown the aircraft. I've done a couple of... I'm going to just reserve everything. I'm just too excited, you know. I just want to tell you all about it. I've done a couple of test flights on it. And... yeah, I'll just keep you guys waiting. Abo, yes, welcome aboard. Glad to have you here with us, guys. Really, guys, thank you very much for your support again. For 85,000 subscribers, that's crazy. Just to come to think about it, when I started 8 years ago or 9 years ago, in 2015, is when I can say that I've officially started making videos. In the previous topic of living it beyond your means, everyone agrees flight simming is the exception. Yeah, flight simming is the exception, correct. Alright, looks like it's going to be a cloudy arrival into Vienna, as you can see here. Let's take a look at the outside. Just, guys, look at how beautiful those clouds are with this preset. I mean, with this preset, things are just looking absolutely phenomenal. It's just really a game changer. Those NVIDIA filters are just a game changer. I love the crispness and the sharpness of the cockpit as well. With the new preset that I've created, just things look a lot better. You know, on the DA, the reason I really enjoyed, you know, taking a look at the cows version of the DA42 is there was actually something that I can compare it to, and it is the Arabesque DA42, I believe NG. So Abu says we want a trip on the 25th of February in recognition of Kuwait's National Day. You betcha. No worries at all. I always do, by the way, Abu, I always do that. But the chat is in English, so please make sure that you always use English in chat. But I got your message, and we will definitely do a special flight. I'm thinking we're going to do maybe Abu Dhabi to Kuwait. Builds recently released Abu Dhabi International along with the Yas Island, which is a beautiful island in Abu Dhabi. Of course, it's an artificial island that was built, and not very far from the island, actually on the island, they've got Ferrari World, and Ferrari World is just really an amazing attraction for, you know, kids and adults alike. And if you're ever in the region, I highly recommend that you visit Abu Dhabi and visit Yas Island. Ferrari World is great fun for, you know, a nice family, you know, weekend getaway. You know, you can go there for 3-4 days and really enjoy, you know, some spectacular rides there. Some, you know, very exhilarating roller coasters. You'll have fun, and if you're with the family, you'll definitely have fun. Well, yeah, on the 25th, it's been a custom on the channel, Abu, yes, where on the 25th of February, I always do a stream to and from Kuwait, either to or from Kuwait International, and I always speak about that period. The period that, you know, we may forgive, but we will never forget. Yeah. Can't wait to fly into Abu Dhabi during my F1 World Tour series of streams. Yes, Marina Circuit is nice. It's beautiful. Trishal, yeah, it's beautiful. All right, we were starting to kind of, you know, again, it's pretty cloudy as you can see here, but it's just going to make the approach a little more interesting, I think. But yeah, I mean, these look really, really nice. I really like these views, these wing views now with the clouds there and this new preset here. Again, here is another wing view for your viewing pleasure. It looks very, very nice. Yeah, that's one of the things I really like about Microsoft Flight Sim is the eye candy. Incidentally, I was with a real-world pilot and flight engineer now, who gave me a tour of the Kuwait Association of Flight Engineer and Pilots here in Kuwait, which I didn't even know that it existed. But yeah, he was kind enough to take me there to you know, to take a look at. It was just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And he himself said, MSFS is for the eye candy. X-Plane is the real thing. And they've got this huge room of maybe like 40 simulators. All right, let me go ahead. I'm going to increase our rate of descent a little bit, and I'm also going to slow down. So I'm going to go to VS, and I'm going to increase our rate of descent to 1700. I'm going to reduce our speed to 240 knots. And I'm going to extend the speed brakes. There we go. As you can see, the reason I'm doing this is I don't think that we'll be at 5,000 before we reach the turn into Belad, which is the transition into the approach. So we're just gonna, ooh, it looks like it's raining. Gee. You know what, guys? Let's take a quick look at the weather conditions. Let's go to flight and then weather. All right, see, 170, oof, 15 knot. Gee, rain. Yeah, there's light rain. A few clouds, 48. So yeah, what we thought is going to be an uneventful approach now turns into something quite challenging. So, but that's cool, right? All right. So, okay, we're looking good here. And here's a look at the outside again. Just look at this scene. Wow. All right, I'm going to bring up some lights here as we travel below the clouds. Things might get a little bit darker. So we're going to bring the background light as well. Okay, perfect. And let me, we do want to record our approach and landing today, so we're going to use flight control replay to do that. And we'll record the flight, but we'll do the entire shutdown and then we'll take a look at the replay. Let's take a look here, 1700, that's cool. Right, I'm going to slow down to 230 knots. This part of the world is beautiful. Munich, Vienna, Innsbruck, etc. Yep, absolutely. Here's a look here at the beautiful terrain here as we arrive into Vienna. Gorgeous, just absolutely gorgeous. Look at that, guys. The 736 for me is the cutest plane in my opinion, just behind the baby C-17. Yeah, it is a very pleasant aircraft. I like it. I like how it looks. It's quite nice. All right, 10,000 feet. Landing lights on. We're going to turn on the runway turn-off lights. Engine start switches to continuous. And let's see here. Taxi, we don't need. Fasten seatbelt on. And we're going to turn off the engine and wing anti-ice. Alright, perfect. The speed brake is extended. Alright, barrow, there we go, is now set. Excellent. And we'll just keep the current descent rate. And I'm going to slow down to 200. We're going to go down to 200. Looking good. Guys, look at this. Look at this view. It looks just sensational. All right, 7,000, about 2,000 feet to go. We are looking good in terms of our altitude. The final approach speed today is Why did I put 142? That is incorrect. All right, so we're going to change this to 126, so 131. 131. There we go. That's much better. Okay. So here we are reaching 5,000. We can start reducing the rate of descent. Okay, to 1,000 feet per minute. And that should help us also reduce our speed. Speaking of the speed, we are going to reduce our speed now to 180 knots. There's 180. Let's arm the speed brakes. There we go. Looking good. There's 5,000. Thank you very much, Stan. Appreciate it, my friend. Water Live. How are you doing, my friend? How is the Kuro B787? It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool add-on. Yeah. Good effort by the developer, without a doubt. All right, we're approaching there. Let's go to flaps 5. All right, flaps 5 is set. And we can reduce our speed to 160 knots. The speeds on the 737-600 is just way different than the bigger 78, the 738. Looks like it is raining here, and we are almost at our destination now. You can see the airport right there, but it's a bit cloudy. Look at this, just beautiful, beautiful sight here. There's some sort of a refinery there. All right, we'll just keep it there. 158. It's a steep level you got, so maximum 175, 180 knots. No, I'm gonna keep the speed lower. We don't really want to be that fast for the turn. Just look at that. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Even much better here on the outside. Look at that, guys. Wow. All right. At this point, let's go and bring flight control replay. Flight control replay for MSFS. Yep, that's what I want. And we're going to hit on record. And we're going to call this ORBX. How about that? All right, ORBX is recording. Perfect. And always with the PMDG, you get that little pause. What is it complaining? Flight simulator. All right. I think that's going to create an issue for us. Looks like Microsoft Defender didn't like that. Looking at this small B736, wishing TFDI would bring the 71. Oh, God, yes. I definitely share the same wish there that they would do that. All right. At this point, we can go to approach. All right, so we're going to select approach. All right, there we go. And we can go down to about 154. That's our runway right there. How to fix lag landing in MSFS? Not sure what you mean by that. Besides the 737-600 reminds me of the 737-200. Yes. There is a lot of similarity between the two aircraft, I must say. All right, speed brake is armed, and everything here is good. Excellent. And here comes our turn. Very lovely scenery there of Vienna here as we arrive into our destination. Here comes the turn. All right, and at this point, we'll just wait for the aircraft to complete the turn, and then we will configure the landing gear and flaps. All right, we're gonna go flaps 10. Actually, let's go flaps 15. And we are going to lower the landing gear. All right, we're off the, let me go to flaps 25. Let's go to 131. We'll take over in a minute here. We go to flaps 30. I'm going to disconnect the autopilot and take over. Alright, autopilot disengaged, my aircraft. There's definitely very strong crosswind. We'll leave the auto throttle for now, and we'll disconnect it later. Should give us sufficient time to adjust the descent rate and the glide slope there. We are off the glide slope and the localizer, and I can feel very, very strong wind. Thank you for that. TO set. Very beautiful sight of the 737. Right, we're gonna worry about the views later. Getting carried away by the views there and messed up the localizer. Go. I'm just going to use the trim. Right, we can make the turn now. We set the approach speed a little too early, but that's okay. Should give us some time to also adjust the... I'm going to increase the speed just a little bit to 134. Alright, now it's going to matter what we do from this point forward. Bring it back on the glide slope and localizer. The wind is so strong.
1,000.
All right, 1,000 feet. I'm going to go in and disconnect the auto throttle. Very strong wind. I'm going to use a little bit of rudder there to correct. Right, we're looking good on the almost on the localizer and the glide slope. I can definitely feel the winds now.
100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Vienna. Reversers. Knots and manual braking. All right. Thank you, Dougal. Thank you, Blackjack. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Glad you enjoyed it. It was pretty cool approach, and I'll tell you guys, it makes a huge difference with the Thrusmaster yoke. It's just really a whole different experience with the Thrusmaster yoke, as opposed to, you know, the Alpha, the Honeycomb Alpha. All right, we can turn on the taxi, and we can also start retracting the flaps. All right, so let's come here, and let's see here. Right, flaps are retracting. Excellent. How beautiful this aircraft is. You have got to love the 736. Looks like there's an aircraft taking off right there. This is, by the way, the old livery of Austrian. Alright, we can kill the strobe lights, by the way, as well. There we go. And we can start the APU. I really enjoyed this flight very much, guys. I hope that you've enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed streaming it for you, really. It was a lot of fun to, you know, to, first of all, to experience the Thrustmaster hardware, both the yoke and the throttle in this flight. It does make the landings, you know, a lot more enjoyable. So if you are considering a flight yoke, really, I can highly recommend the Thrustmaster Boeing yoke. It's just great. I've been using it for a lot of the GA aircraft as well, and let me tell you, it's just amazing. The feel of it, and when you come to land, when especially during crosswind, it's just really an amazing yoke. It takes a little bit of getting used to if you are, you know, if you've been flying the you know, any other yoke for a long time like I have been. It takes a little bit of getting used to how it handles, but once you get the hang of it, it's just an absolutely amazing flight yoke. Very nice. All right, here we go. We're gonna turn this taxiway here and head over to the terminal to our right. Just really a lovely flight in a lovely part of the world with a lovely audience here in chat. Just wish the Boeing yoke didn't need much. Yeah, see, Dougal, the thing is, if you've watched my review on the Boeing yoke by Thrustmaster, One of the nice things about it is it doesn't take much space on your desk. So the area that it occupies is very small on your actual desk. And it's got this really nice stand where you can put your iPad or your mobile phone or your checklist. The problem for me is how much it extends far out from your desk. That's what is a problem for me. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool yoke. Highly recommended. If you're serious about flight simming, it's one of the yokes that I definitely recommend. You will not regret it. It's just really excellent yoke. Oop. There we go. Some nice wing views for you guys here as we arrive into Vienna and look for a suitable parking spot. Yeah, FS Realistic is a must-have. Starting to rain again. All right. Let's see if we can find a spot here, maybe somewhere along those. Yeah, I think that should work. Very nice airport to also by Gaia, I believe Gaia Simulation, or Jaya, I believe it's Gaia Simulation, is the creator of this airport, but it is available for purchase through my good friends over at ORBX. Great company. ORBX is really a great company. You know, there's a lot of similarities between ORBX and Navigraph in terms of the staff. You know, like the people that work there. They're so friendly, they're so nice, they're so helpful. Thrust set simulations. I'm surprised it has taken you this long to experience the yoke. Didn't you say you had? I had one long time ago, and I gave it away, but because I had other yokes, I tried it for a couple of days, and then I gave it away because I had one. So I haven't really played with it this much. By the way, I still have a Bravo throttle by Honeycomb still sitting in the box. I haven't even opened it yet. So yeah, I do have a lot of gear, and sometimes I just end up, you know, using it for a couple of days and then giving it away because people need it more than I do, or they can't afford one where I can. So yeah, so I do have a Bravo throttle still sitting in the box, just unpacked. I haven't even unpacked it. All right, so we're going to come here to Foxtrot 21 stand. No, that's stand 23. Foxtrot 23. All right. Bring it here. Let's turn off the... All right, taxi lights are off. Okay, and we're going to set the parking brake. Right, parking brake is set. And we can go now to engine bleeds off, APU bleed on, and we'll put the chins on the APU, and we can kill the engines. There we go. All right, and here we go. The engines are turning off. Perfect. Everything is on the APU now. Cool. And we can go to... Actually, put this one on. This one goes off. And let's see here. All right, everything here is off. Everything here is off. All right, I think we can leave it in this state here and turn off the fasten seatbelt signs. And there we go. All right, let's take a look at the landing. I hope that it was recorded. So we're going to say stop here. Stop recording. All right, and then we're going to say load. We do have ORBX. All right, it says loaded. It looks like it didn't record it because of that issue that we've had with yeah, it doesn't look like it recorded anything. Ah, it did. Aren't we lucky, guys? All right, perfect. Let me stop it here. And then we'll come right about here. All right, there we go. Looks like the weather has gotten worse. This looks pretty cool, guys, I have to say. Woohoo! Pretty cool, huh? Alright, let's try one more thing. Let me try. Let's see. All right, let's try this, guys. Let me go back, and we're gonna. Yeah, let's do that flyby. Check it out, a flyby in Microsoft Flight Sim. Doesn't work exactly as it should. All right, what we can do is the following. Right, we'll bring it here. Right, let me pause it. That's a better look. Maybe we'll do it one more time.
You know what they say, a good landing is a landing you can walk away from.
All right, let's do this. We're gonna do it maybe with a you know what, guys? Let me change the weather a little bit here. Let me just say we're gonna go a few clouds. Just let's take a look at this landing without the clouds, and we're gonna go and say play. All right, there we go. It's a bit too far. There we go. spectacular approach into Vienna. Do you know about real turbulence? Yeah, I've heard about it. Woo! Beautiful. That was a pretty nice landing, guys. Yeah. Alright. If we go to the Volanta app, I think it's going to have multiple landings. You can see here. Yeah, I think this is the first one that we've done, 254 FPN. And this one is the replay. And that's why, yeah, you've got so many of them. But yeah, I think it was fun. Well, folks, I think this brings us to the conclusion of this live stream. I definitely hope that you guys have enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed streaming it for you. Be sure to tune in tomorrow evening at 1800 Zulu for a full review of the CAL's DA42 for Microsoft Flight Simulator. I want to thank you very much, guys, for being here this evening. I want to thank our sponsor, ORBX, today for sponsoring this stream. I hope that you guys are able to come in tomorrow evening for the full review, again, of the CAL's DA42. But until then, please take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you all very soon. Thanks for tuning in. Stay safe, and good night.